Kendra. We ain't seen no man. So go on get the peach. Go on back over there and get the peach. Because you were a wife. You had a husband and you were a housewife in Atlanta. That we know. So go on back and get your peach. Duh. Go on back and get your peach. Hey you guys, and welcome back to my channel. Now if this is your first time here, hey, welcome. My name is Dianne and I'm super excited that you found your way here. Now, it has been a long time coming. And baby, when I tell you I ran from the idea of watching this show simply because in the beginning, before the show even aired, the cast even dropped, blah, 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 blah. The rumors and the spoilers were dropping in the Twitter streets, okay? If you are not a part of Twitterville USA, you need to get there and get there fast, okay? Because it goes down in Twitterville USA. However, there were a lot of spoilers being said, right? And one of the spoilers was that Dan was one of the people to go home first. Now, if you know me, you know when it comes to Big Brother, I only have two favorites, okay? There are a lot of people that I love and adore, but my favorites, we know, are Dan and Danielle Reyes. That's it, okay? Now, there are a lot of people, again, that I love, and I love to watch them play, and it's like, oh, yes. But my favorites, there are only two. And so, the idea of one of my favorites going home first, baby, that was a pill that I was not prepared to swallow. And so I was like, I'm not watching this. I'm not about to watch Dan go. Dan? I'm not about to watch Dan go out like that. I can't. I cannot do it. And so I had ran from watching the show. But now at this point, you know, this isn't a spoiler because, I mean, I'm behind. Okay? I am behind. And so at this point, you know that that's not accurate. And so realizing that somebody lied, I finally convinced myself to watch the show on top of all of the, did you see? What do you have to say about this episode? Davon, did you catch this episode? Dave, what do you think? And it's like, okay, let me watch it so I can actually have a conversation. Because right now, I'm just Twitter clips, okay? I'm watching a lot of clips on Twitter and I'm not able to have a real conversation. And Devin Simone has been on my head about watching this season. And so I'm here. Devin, I'm here. I have arrived, okay? And so I'm excited to be doing these reviews and these recaps about this show. However, I am very behind, okay? Very behind. So just bear with me as I catch up and get to where you guys are. I'm also going to start Love is Blind. I have not watched Love is Blind since season 1, okay? But a new season is dropping, I think, today. And so I'm going to watch it and I'm going to also review that. And that is going to keep me on top of the show so I can be able to have a conversation with you guys, you know what I mean, in the moment, not weeks later, right? So yeah, hold me accountable for that. Hold me accountable for that. And if there are any other shows that you would like to hear me review or do recaps on, then yes, comment below and let me know. Oh, Davon, you need to watch blah, 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 blah. Cool, I'll give it a shot. As long as it's not Grey's Anatomy. This is not an opportunity for y'all to try to make me watch Grey's Anatomy. I don't have 36 seasons in me. I don't have it. So, you know, that one's just not here. It's just not here. But what is here is these traitors and these faithfuls. So let's get into it. Let's get these traitors and these faithfuls. Let's get these traitors and these faithfuls. Damn. I want to talk about my first impression of the cast because what is a recap without first impressions? Like, and this is a great cast. Oh my goodness. But I'm going to be very honest. There are a lot of people in this cast that I do not know. I mean, there's a lot that I do, but there are lots that I do not know. And honestly, that just made me realize, you know, Davon, you have to open up your reality TV palette. Is that the word I'm looking for? Maybe so. I don't know, but we're going to roll with it. You have to open up your reality TV palette because I have tunnel vision and I'm in my own little bubble with the shows that I enjoy. And it's like, no, you have to really expand. Okay? Expound. You gotta watch some more stuff, right? And so that's on my to-do list to watch other shows. And I know it's gonna be the same thing for me when this GOAT show finally comes out, you know, because there's so many different networks. People are gonna be like, who is Davon? Who is that? And I'm totally okay with that. Just give me that same grace when I don't know who you are. Okay, that's all I'm asking. So let's get into these first impressions because what a cast. What a cast. All right. So let's kick this thing off with Dan, okay? Now, if you are a part of the Big Brother community in any capacity, Dan needs no introduction. You know what I'm saying? When you think of Big Brother, you think of Dan. It just kind of goes hand in hand, right? His very first season, season 10, he came in and dominated. Do you hear me? I mean, strategy, gameplay, like Dan did what Dan had to do. Okay, Dan did so well that in future seasons, if you do something that mimics it, oh, he's trying to pull a Dan, or he's doing a Dan. You get what I'm saying? When you have a move named after you, like, oh, you trying to do a Dan, you know you are that person, okay? And so Dan did what he needed to do in his first season, and he pulled out the win. He came back again, and he came in second place. Something like that is unheard of. With the exception of future seasons, we see Paul get second place both seasons, okay? We're not going to go into that because don't get in my comments about that. We're not going into that, okay? We are not going into Paul, okay? When I found out that Dan accepted the opportunity to do the Traitors, I was a little confused because I feel, and this is just me personally, players like Dan, players like Danielle Reyes, and some people would even say Derek, right? Y'all would say Derek. I personally feel they should never play any outside games ever because their legacy and their reputation is so high and it's so heavy. People are looking for any reason to strip you of your title. We know that. That's just how social media works. The trolls are going to troll, right? And they're looking for any reason to pull you off of your high horse. And so the slightest thing can tarnish who you are as a player. Everybody wants to take away your reputation. You know what I mean? And so they're looking to see you fail. I would even argue and say, you shouldn't even come back to Big Brother because I don't want them to ruin their reputations of who they are and the impact that they have made. You get what I'm saying? I don't want it to be touched, you know? But if I know Dan, like I think I know Dan, he's a gamer. And him being a gamer surpasses the idea of his reputation and who he is in the Big Brother community. He just wanted to play, right? And so I'm trying to talk about this without, okay, pause, time out. I have not watched the season, right? I have not watched the season, but I have seen certain clips on Twitter. You get what I'm saying? And so fortunately for me, the clips that I've seen have only been of Dan, Phaedra, and Parvati, right? Parvati. How do you say that baby's name? Parvati? I know it's not poverty, it's Parvati. P, right? It's been a Phaedra, Dan, and P. Survivor P. Right? Those are the only people that I've seen in clips. And recently I've seen Sandra with this pool table, right? But those are the only clips that I've seen. So technically my eyes are not virgin eyes to the season, but they're not ran through either. Is that the right thing to say? We're gonna go with it. They're not virgin eyes, but they're not ran through either, okay? And so I'm trying to do these first impressions without Dan specifically, without saying too much. I don't understand why he took the call. I don't understand why he took the call, but I am excited to watch Dan play. I understand. Okay. There are two types of people, right? There are people who watched older seasons when they aired, and so they watched them live, and then there are other people who had to go back and rewatch it. You get what I'm saying? They watched it later. For those of us that watch these seasons live, I think we have a certain amount of loyalty to certain people and, you know, how they played the game, whatever. There's a certain amount of loyalty we have to these people. And so I have the understanding that 2020, oh, that was 23. 2023 Dan is not going to be season 10 and season 14 Dan. Is it 14 or 13? Whatever season that was. It's not the same Dan. It was 14. They are not the same Dan. Okay, I get that. So however Friend played back then, he's not going to play that way now. I understand that. Which is why I wish he would have said no. Oh, Dan, I wish you would have not played this game. But I'm excited to watch nonetheless. Let's move on to Janelle because I can stay right here all day. Janelle, okay, when it comes to Big Brother, Janelle is also one of those names that just go hand in hand, okay? Janelle has played Big Brother 4 times. That's the most anybody has played that game. She has played Big Brother 4 times. Do you understand me? And each and every time she comes and she makes her mark. You know, even on All Stars, she wasn't there long, but she still made her mark. You get what I'm saying? The thing I love about Janelle is that Janelle is going to do what Janelle wants to do. You can't tell Janelle what to do. I can't tell Janelle what to do. Production can't tell Janelle what to do. She's going to do what she wants to do, regardless of how you feel about her as a person, okay? We're talking about the player. And she's a hell of a player, even as someone who hasn't won. You know what I mean? I hate when people say, oh, well, they haven't won. There's a lot of winners that, anyway, when you think of Big Brother, you think of Janelle. She's just one of those names that go, hey, every show has a staple, right? And Janelle is one of those staples when it comes to Big Brother. And so her getting a phone call, I was not surprised. Her best friend Rachel, who is also a staple in the Big Brother world, I mean a huge staple. Rachel was a huge staple in the Big Brother world. She did the first season of the Traitors. And so I'm not surprised at all that Janelle is there. And I believe that Janelle is going to come in and Janelle is going to do Janelle. And I really hope that she makes it really, really far in this game, because I'm trying to say this without getting jumped, because I know once I say this, I'm going to get jumped because I took part in it, but I took part in it. I have to take accountability. I took part in it. I feel like on All Stars, she was robbed. Okay, but you voted her out. I know. Choices. I'm not about to sit here and explain it. But I feel like in that season, she was robbed. And so I really hope that she comes into this game, even from this first episode. And again, we're going to get into the episode, but even in this first episode, my girl came in guns blazing. Okay, and I just hope that the bullets don't run out, because she was pew, 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 like, so I'm very excited to see Janelle play. Yeah. So the next person we have is Sandra. Now, Sandra is somebody that I would never want to play with, simply because you never know with her. You never know. She could look you right in your face and tell you that the sky is purple. And baby, by the time she finished breaking it down of why it's purple, even though it may look blue through the window, why it is in fact purple and your eyes are just seeing blue, but it is technically purple, baby, you're going to go outside with a telescope and make sure you're not crazy. You are going to go outside with a telescope to say, you know, damn it, it makes sense. Let me go outside and go look. Like, she's that good. And so she is somebody I would never want to play with. And if I did, damn it, I would do my best. To make sure that I am the only person that she actually trusts. Like, you need to be attached to me and you really need to trust me, and darn it, I need to feel like I'm all you got. But I am excited to see her play. She is a 2-time winner, and she is, in Survivor, she's that girl. She is that girl. She is definitely the queen of the jungle, okay? And I'm excited to see what type of chaos she comes in and she causes, because Big Brother players, we have our reputation, but those darn Survivor players have a reputation too. And honestly, theirs are a little bit more cutthroat than ours. Just a little bit. A little bit. So I'm excited to see what she does when she comes over here. Now, Parvati, baby, how do you say your name? Parvati P. Survivor P. Okay? My girl Par. That's ugly. I'm not gonna call you that. I'm so sorry. Cut that out. Parvati. I'm excited to watch her play because she's a lioness. Okay? She's gonna attack. She gonna play. And she's gonna get it done. Her and Sandra have this, do we call it unspoken? Because I feel like we know. I feel like it's very spoken. Like, there's this tension of who the queen is, you know, who's top tier, who's top notch, who is the one. I'm excited to see if somehow they end up working together, just on some like, look, we are Survivor, we are in here, let's use each other for as far as we can use each other, and then I throw you to the wolves, you throw me to the wolves. Don't really care. Whoever survives, survives, right? I'm hoping it's one of those situations, but I feel like it might be a clash of the Titan. But yeah, I'm excited to see Parvati play. I'm excited to see her play. I feel like she's going to be somebody who is not afraid to make moves. She's going to do what she needs to do in order to make sure she makes it to the end. Let's see what she does. CT. Let's get into it, okay? Before I even, let me just say something, okay? Because according to the blogs, the man is divorced now. So I can say what I want to say now, okay? What Ty say? You can drag her now, Portia. Drag her. You can drag her now. I can say whatever I want to say now, okay? From the moment we were introduced to that man until today, that man has been fine his whole life. Do you understand? Fine. That man has been fine his whole life. Do you? I mean, CT has been fine. Okay. And before y'all start getting weird, sometimes somebody is just attractive and that's it. That does not mean you want to pursue anything with them. That does not mean any of those things. That just means you think they are attractive and that is that. Okay. And that is all that I'm saying in this video. That man has been fine from the moment we were introduced to him up until now. Even after he became a dad and he went through his dad bod era. Okay. Man was still fine. Okay. Still fine. In any event, now that I've got that off, CT, the challenge, he is a MTV, yep, because it would be an M. He is an MTV staple, okay? You can't say the challenge or MTV, period, without thinking of CT. He is a great challenge champion. He is one of those people, you don't sleep on CT. You got to keep your eyes open and stay wide awake because that man is going to do whatever he needs to do, cross whoever he needs to cross, say whatever he needs to say in order to make it to the end. He is cutthroat. He has proven he is not afraid of anybody. He is not going to back down to anybody. CT is going to do what CT needs to do. Okay. And he's very, very smart. He's known for puzzles and different things like that. CT has the strength, the intimidation, and the brains. It's like, and he fine. Like, he's one of those people in the challenge that you have to watch out for. I am not surprised at all that he got a call to come and do the Traitors. I think watching him play this is going to be very interesting because if you're smart, you would try to get him out. Like, you don't have to go into a hall brawl with him. This is not a show where you have to go into an elimination with him. You can just send him home. And this is send him home. Like, you don't let CT make it to the end. I don't care what the show is. You don't let CT make it to the end. And so I'm wondering if these people are going to do that or if they're going to have distractions elsewhere. This is an opportunity for us to see CT play a social game, you know, because even in the first season, I didn't watch the first season. I watched clips on social media. I know. You need to go because you need to see some replay. I know. I'm going to get to it. I'm going to get to it. Let me deal with the now, though. I'm right here, okay? And so I'm assuming that these are going to be team competitions. And so maybe they're looking at like, we need CT to stay in the game so he can help us collect these coins. I don't know, but I don't care what the game is. You don't let CT get to the end. You don't let that man get to the end unless you are his partner. If you are not his partner, you do not let that man get to the end. You understand? So I'm excited to see him play. I'm excited to see his social game, him mixing and mingling and getting to talk to people and different things like that. I think we are going to see a different CT than we've seen on MTV. And that I'm very excited about. That makes me excited. I like seeing people in other elements just to kind of see how they swim and, you know, sink or swim. And so I'm excited to see CT play. Moving on. Johnny Bananas. Okay. Bananas. I'm excited to see Johnny play. I recently watched him on House of Villains, and watching him navigate through that show was very interesting. I feel like we got an opportunity to see a different side of Johnny, even down to the end, the thing he did for Tanisha. I just thought that was so heartfelt, so loving, so giving, because you can't tell me he knew what was going to happen. The minute he said her name, he knew. Bye. Money gone. Check done. Bank closed. He knew. And so still doing that made me like just view him in a completely different light. Not that I viewed him in a bad light, because I always thought Johnny was cool from the interactions I've had with him. You know what I mean? Personally, he's never done anything crazy or weird to me. Watching him play Traitors is going to be very interesting. Johnny is going to always take a leadership position because he comes from the challenge, and I think he believes it's expected of him. You know what I mean? Like, you are somebody who is considered one of the kings. And I say one of because CT is also considered a king of the challenge. So you are somebody who is considered one of the kings of the show. So you to come over here and flop wouldn't make sense. So when it comes time to actually perform in the challenges, I expect Johnny to be in the forefront, and I think he thinks people expect him to be in the forefront, and I think he believes he needs to be in the forefront. So I'm excited to see how this all breaks down and how he performs on this season. And I'm excited to see if him and CT will team up in some way. You know what I mean? If they would come together, kind of like Sandra and Parvati, they're CT and Bananas. It's like, who do you think is actually the king? You know what I mean? It's one of those situations. And so I'm very interested to see how they play this game together, because this is not the challenge. So I'm very, very interested to see how they navigate this show together. Moving on. Trishelle. Okay, not gonna lie, that caught me off guard. I was not expecting Trishelle to be on the Traitors. I was not. And when I saw her picture pop up in the little clip, I was like, where the hell they find Trishelle at? Like, where they find her at? But I'm excited to see her play. If you know her from the challenge and Real World and whatever else she's done, you know she's one of those people, I'm gonna do what I want to do. She's gonna say what she has to say. I've seen her buck up to some people, you know what I mean? I don't know how her and Johnny are gonna do on the show together. But, you know, again, I'm one of those people where I feel like if we are all from the same show, at some point there's a certain amount of loyalty we should have to each other. You know what I mean? So even if there is an issue, y'all saw me and Paulie on Final Reckoning, okay? And Paulie was one of my biggest ops. Wait, I'm too old to use that word. Me and Paulie didn't get along at all, okay? He was number one. We did not get along at that ending. In the beginning, we was cool, but at that ending, whoa. And so for us to put our differences aside, once we got to Final Reckoning, it was like, there are no other options. Like, me and you are going to talk this out. We're going to work this out, and we're going to see what happens after that. Now, I did not expect us to become friends afterwards. That was something totally different. That's my buddy for real now. But, you know, before, you know, and so I'm hoping that this is going to be the same outcome with Johnny and Trishelle. Maybe they can work something out. And the three of them, Johnny, CT, and Trishelle, can do something and make it pretty far in this game. So, yeah, I'm excited to see Trishelle play. Moving on. Phaedra v. Parks. Now, when I talk about a rebranding queen, baby, rebranding queen. Do you understand me? Now, I found out, okay, and I know some of you have seen me talk on Twitter about me having a Phaedra story. This is not the Phaedra story, but this is part of it, right? Phaedra was actually supposed to be on the GOAT show with me. And so the fact that she turned that down and ended up doing this, selfishly, I'm a little upset. Because I would have loved to play the GOAT show with her. Don't get me wrong, I love my Gio. Okay, but I would have really enjoyed playing this game with Phaedra as well. Absolutely. Now, as far as her coming in and playing the game, I'm also kind of glad she said no to the GOAT show, because as we are watching this first episode, she's not talking, and that would piss me off because she's not saying a word. And I understand that strategically it's perfect. She's playing a great game. But I'm going to need you to talk to me. I'm going to need you to tell me what's going on in your head, okay? I need to know what's going on. If you do not know who Phaedra is, she is one of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. She is currently on Married to Medicine. And Phaedra, I feel like Phaedra does not need an introduction. When you think of the Real Housewives, you think of Phaedra. Now, there are a lot of people who are attached to that. People gonna say, no, when I think of Nene, I think of Kenya. And that's all true. I don't deny any of that. But we're not gonna sit here and act like you don't think of Phaedra as well. We're not going to do that. My girl made her mark. I understand what happened in that season. I get it. I totally get it. But as far as her making her mark, we're not going to take that away from her. You understand what I'm saying? And I have my own theories about what happened in that season anyway. But that's another conversation for another day. In any event, I'm excited to see her come and play this game. Phaedra is she's one of the cutthroat housewives. You know what I'm saying? In my personal opinion, she can go toe-to-toe with anybody. I think so. Me personally, I think she can go toe-to-toe with anybody. And I'm excited to see her in this world, you know, because this isn't the Real Housewives of Atlanta. This is, you have to do challenges. This is, you have to have a social game. This is, you have to strategize and figure, you know what I mean? This is totally different. So watching her step into this is going to be Very interesting. But Phaedra, I got my eyes on you, girl. I got my eyes on you. When it comes to the Housewife franchise, she is definitely my top. She's in my top 4 for sure. She's in my top 4. And I'm excited to see her play. Side note, did you hear the rumors that she might be coming back to Real Housewives of Atlanta? Baby, Kandi says she's not doing this season. She's not doing season 16. So there might be a little, because you know, Kandi said she wasn't going to do it if Phaedra came back. Kandi's not here anymore. So, woo! Anyway, I hope it happens. Even though she's over there at Married to Medicine, and I totally understand, but you know, we ain't seen no man, Phaedra. We ain't seen no man. So go and get the peach. Go on back over there and get the peach. Because you were a wife. You had a husband and you were a housewife in Atlanta. That we know. So go on back and get your peach. Duh. Go on back and get your peach. In any event, I'm so excited to see Phaedra play, and I'm excited to see how she navigates this whole situation. Moving on. Sheree. Ooh, she by Sheree. She by Sheree. Oh, Sheree. Okay. I think, and this is very selfish, and I don't even care. I think she is going to be one of the most hilarious people to watch play this game. Now, we know Sheree is athletic. Well, we know she works out. Okay, body is like plickety plow. She's together, you know. So I know she in the gym. She do her thing. We got that. She can lift weights. She can. Yeah, she got that. But I think, putting her in an environment where she has to do challenges, and again, I don't know what the challenges are except for the first one from the first episode, but. And she's going to have to compete. And I'm going to assume that these challenges aren't all going to be like preppy and, you know, they're not going to be that. Like, you're going to have to get dirty and muddy and nasty and probably gross. And so to see Sheree in that element, for me, I think is going to be absolutely TV gold. And I cannot wait to see it. Do I think she's going to go far in the game? I don't know. I don't know. Okay. I've seen some clips where she's having like spaced out moments where the math ain't mathing for her. And so in that, I would say there is a possibility where she could fly under the radar. I don't know, but I don't even care. The longer she's there, I think the more entertainment for me. I think her in this environment, in this element, is going to be absolutely TV gold. And I'm excited to see Sheree play this game. On another note, because of what happened during that season, Phaedra's last season of Atlanta, to see these two play this game together, because I don't know if anybody else peeped it, and maybe I was reading too much into it, I don't know, but even when they arrived to the castle or whatever, they didn't talk to each other. Like, they didn't hug, it wasn't that, you know what I mean? If it was, I missed it. If they spoke to each other in that introduction, I missed it, you know? And so, you know, we don't know. So I'm very interested to see how that relationship plays out in this season. Moving on. Peppermint. Oh my gosh. Now, if you know me, I love me some RuPaul's Drag Race, and Peppermint was one of my girls. Do you understand me? She was one of my girls. Now, with all of that being said, I am very surprised that she accepted the call to do this show. And I only say that because, one, Peppermint has been in her acting bag. Do you understand me? Like, she's been heavy in her acting bag. And as somebody who knows how hard it is to get that reality TV stamp up off of your name, to get it off of your name is so difficult. So the fact that you are currently in that world of acting and, you know, reality TV is kind of being behind you, to then come back to it, baby, I will never understand. Because let me tell you, blocked. What Luda say? Run away and never come back. If I get a phone call to do a film or a TV sitcom, baby, you would. What is reality TV? Never heard of her. I don't know her. You would never. So I was very shocked that she decided to come back and do this. But excited to see her play, but I'm also very nervous to see her play because for me, Peppermint is very, very kind, very gentle, very loving, very caring. You just think of a genuinely nice person. Well, let me speak for myself. When I think of Peppermint, I think of a very genuinely nice person, right? And don't get me wrong, I understand that Drag Race is very cutthroat, but this is a different type of cutthroat, okay? This world is a very, very, very different type of cutthroat. And so we don't care that you're nice. We don't care that you are a nice person. We don't care, okay? We are waiting for you to do the smallest thing so we can put you at the front of the line as the main target so you can go home before me. Reality TV and this type of reality TV is very selfish. We do not care. You can be the nicest person, clean up the house all day, do whatever it is. You're gonna go home. And so I am very, very nervous to see her play with these cutthroat people. Now, do I think she can carry her own in these? I don't know. I don't know because, again, we're going to get into the episode, right? But for now, let's just go back to that moment with Peppermint and Trishelle, right? When they have that little exchange in that conversation. Now, in Peppermint's mind, I'm pretty sure she was like, that was nothing. We just, had a little moment. It wasn't even a moment. It was a second, right? It was nothing. She went on about her business. As you see, when the camera pans to her, she's walking out by herself in her own world. When the camera pans to Trishelle is straight out of MTV. You understand? So she knew how to take that moment and magnify it and make it a thing. She knew what to do with that moment. And so I'm not saying that she was right to do it, but I'm saying she knew that if there was the slightest possibility that somebody could have taken that moment and made her look like the bad person in the moment, it's basically whoever calls the police first. Whoever calls the police first. And in that situation, she called the police first. And so situations like that make me nervous for Peppermint because I don't want to say smarts because she's very smart, but she doesn't have that strategic skill set in this world. You know what I mean? To be able to navigate that type of situation. And it showed in that moment. And when it happened, I was like, man, like, they're going to get my girl. I was like, they're going to get my girl. So I don't know if they're going to actually get her for this situation. I don't know, but that's just the feeling that I got now. If she finds a way and she flipped this and Trishelle ends up going home, baby, let me tell you something. My bad, girl. I will get on the Twitter streets and I will give you the biggest public apology because I underestimated you and I am sorry. But if not, I said what I said. Moving on. Marcus. The only thing that I know about him is that he is Michael Jordan's son. Deontay. Okay, now, heavyweight champion. Okay? Now, I have never seen a boxer, and I'm not saying that it hasn't happened. I'm just saying I've never seen it. I've never seen a boxer step into this side of reality TV. I've never seen it. And it makes me nervous because reality TV hits that fine line between doing it for the cameras and actual disrespect. You understand what I'm saying? There's that fine line. And a lot of people like to play on that line, and Bananas is one of those people. CT is one of those people who like to play on that line. Any boxer, okay, who is used to throwing hands. How do you handle those types of situations? What do you do? And so, but I will say from the first episode and, just seeing him and his personality, he seems like a gentle giant. He seems like, let's pause for the paramedic dealer or wherever it is that they going, God, please protect and cover the people, Lord God. Let them get to them in a timely manner where they can get them back to the hospital, oh God, and their bodies can be healed and taken care of. Have your way in the entire situation. In the name of Jesus, thank you, oh God, in advance for whatever it is that you're going to do in their lives. In Jesus' name, amen. Okay. So, like I was saying, he seems like a gentle giant, meaning he seems like fun and he seems, outgoing. He seems like a really nice guy. And he has a really nice smile too. He has a really, really nice smile. Larsa, Real Housewives of Miami. This is what I mean when I say I need to expand my reality TV palette because Potomac and Atlanta. That's all I got for you. There are people that have been telling me that I need to go back and watch Beverly Hills. But again, Potomac and Atlanta. That's all I got for you. So I need to go and watch her season. So for now, the only thing I know is Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan's son. That's all I know about her. But I'm excited to see her play. She wasn't afraid to speak her mind in this first episode. Now I give her that. And let me tell you something. When she made the comment, she heard his hand raised above his sleeve. She heard it. She wasn't wrong. Okay, because he did lift it up, but he did the 42 fake. He didn't really tap on her, on Parvati. He didn't tap her, but he definitely lifted it. So when she said, I believe her. Also, if you close your eyes, your hearing intensifies. You know how they say if one of your senses is weak, then the other ones are heightened or extra strong. Like, close your eyes right now. You see how much more you can hear? Like, you can hear so much more clearly. I don't know, I can anyway. I felt you, girl. I know what you're talking about. Okay? So yeah, but I'm excited to see her play and see what she can do, because that moment right there, she was not afraid to say, yeah, you got tapped. I heard you get tapped. Parvati was pissed. She was pissed. We'll get to that. This is about first impressions. Moving on. Next up, we have MJ. They say she's from Shaw's. Am I saying that right? Shaws of Sunset. Never seen it, so I don't know. But I'm excited to see her play. Yeah, I'm excited to see what she can do. Hey, girl. I'm excited to see what she can do. Move on. Peter from The Bachelor. Again. I don't watch The Bachelor. I haven't watched The Bachelor in a very long time. So I have no idea anything about this man. But, you know, he's from The Bachelor, and so he is typecast as the cute guy, the Bachelor guy, and so they usually tend to go pretty far. So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. John. Now John is a politician in the UK. You don't trust politicians. We don't trust politicians. We just don't trust politicians. And so you coming in, I already know. I don't want to hear anything you have to say. You have to go home today. You have to go home before anybody else. I don't trust politicians. Y'all, the tongue is so slick. That tongue, them words, so slick. And you gotta go. You gotta go. But I am excited to see, you know, him play and to see what he does and how he maneuvers through this game. He is one of the older competitors, and so I want to see how that plays out. And that is no shade towards older competitors, because as we see, those of us who have been watching competition shows and reality shows for a long time, we get excited when the older people come in and play, because usually they have the wisdom and the brains, and they know how to work that situation out, right? Unless it's just all the young people gang up on the old people. If it's not one of those situations, oh, they're gonna make it far, because they have the wisdom to be able to do it. Whether they win competitions or not, they have the wisdom to be able to make it. And so I'm excited to see what he does and how far he goes. So yeah, let's see what you got, John, the politician. Bergie. Okay, Bergie is from Love Island. I don't watch Love Island. I've seen maybe 2 seasons of Love Island. So yeah, but I'm excited. I'm excited to see, because as we've seen in the Challenge franchise, that, you know, there are people from Love Island who can come over and they can hold their own. So let's see what you do, Bergie. Next up is Max. Now, you come from Dancing with the Stars. I know some of you are watching this video like, Devon, come on. How you don't know blah, 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 blah. Maybe I don't. I don't. And so I really need to step my reality TV show, competition show palette up. I need to step it up, because in this moment, I am failing miserably. So I'm gonna work on that. But Max, I am excited to see you play. I'm excited. Can't wait. Cannot wait. You can't dance up in here, but maybe you got a strategic dance that we don't know about that's gonna get you to the end. I don't know, but we'll see what happens. Moving on. Real Housewives of Orange County. But if you got cast on this show, then that means on your seasons, you made your mark. In Orange County, you are that girl. And so I am excited to see you play this game. I am excited to see, I'm going to go back and watch Orange County so I can see who you are, get a little peek into how you made your mark. You know, it's always exciting to see people from shows that you have never seen before so that you can watch them play and then go back and find out, how did you get cast over here? What made them pick you and put you over here? And then when you go and find out, and it's like, oh, you are that girl. You know what I mean? Like, we don't, as of right now, I don't know you to be that girl, but I'm excited to see what made you that girl. So yeah, I'm excited to see you play Miss Tamara. Let's see what you got. Ekansu. If I'm butchering your name, I am so sorry. Please reach out to me and tell me how to say your name, because one thing I cannot stand is people butchering other people's names, because when people call me Devon or Devin, it irritates my soul. And so hopefully I'm saying your name right. I tried to look it up and everybody else is saying Ekansu, so I'm hoping I'm saying it right. Anyway, Ekansu is from Love Island. But she's gorgeous. Like, she's so pretty. And, you know, usually when you're a pretty girl, that gets you kind of far, you know, especially when you have guys in the house that are, you know, like thirsty. And so that usually gets you pretty far. And so, but I was listening to her talk, right, during the first episode. And I don't think she's going to be one of those pretty girls who relies on her looks. I think she's actually here to play. And so I am so excited to see what she does this season and how far she makes it, you know, and if she pulls out the win. I'm excited to see. So yeah. Hey, girl. And last but not least, we have Kevin from Bling Empire. I've never seen Bling Empire, so I couldn't tell you anything about this man, nothing. But okay, let's take a moment. The people who I don't know, I think me not knowing them is really great for me watching the show, because I have no expectations. I don't expect, like with Dan, I have all the expectations for Dan. You know what I'm saying? Janelle, all the expectations. CT and Johnny, all the expectations. You know what I mean? I have so many expectations that I expect y'all to go pretty darn far. Even if y'all don't win, I expect y'all to go so, you know, really far. You guys are, Janelle, Trishelle, I expect y'all to go so far in this competition show, you know, because it's a competition show. So I expect you guys, you know what I mean? And so somebody from Bling Empire, this is about like jewelry and gold and diamonds and stuff, bling diamonds, right? I don't know. I don't know how you're gonna do. You know what I mean? Or one of the housewives. I have no expectations for them. You understand what I'm saying? Yvonne, what are you trying to say? I'm trying to say the fact that I do not know you, I have no expectations of you. And so whatever you do, you cannot let me down. You can only make me say, ah. So I am excited to see Mr. Kevin play this game. So now that we have went through this entire cast and I have broke it down to you where these people are from, people that I know, people that I don't know, I'm pretty sure you know them, the ones that I don't know, but that's great because then we can have a conversation with each other, okay? Based on the first episode, I feel like everyone came to play. I feel like everyone came to play this game, and that's what you need. It frustrates me. I'm trying to say too much without saying too much, without telling on myself about this goat show. But it frustrates me when people come to a competition show, and forget that they're on a competition show. Like, baby, we are here to compete, you know? And so, I'm excited that everyone realizes that they are here to compete and to collect a check at the end of the day. I am so happy and I cannot wait to get into this first episode. I'm so excited to be taking this journey with you guys. As I'm sitting here talking to you guys, I'm realizing this video actually went on pretty long, and so we're gonna chop this up. So this first video will only be my first impressions of the cast. The next video, I'm gonna drop 2 videos though. Like, we're getting into episode 1. I sat there and I watched it. We're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into episode 1, but that will be in the next video. So if you enjoyed this video and you liked it, make sure you like the video, make sure to subscribe to my channel, turn on the notifications so you can get notified when I have new videos that are dropping. Also, make sure you share the video. Like, let people know Dayvon is back in these YouTube streets. Wake up! She back in these YouTube streets, okay? And she is here with them traitors and them faithfuls. Yes! If you have other shows that you want me to watch and you want to hear my input about, please comment those shows below. Again, don't come at me about no Grey's Anatomy. Don't come at me about no doctors. Don't come at me about no McLovin, Stuffins, Huggins, whatever his name was. Don't come to me. McSexy, what was his name? Mick, I don't care. Don't come to me about that man or that show. It is not, we're not doing it. I don't have the time. I cannot do that show. And I love y'all so much, but I cannot do that show. Anyway, I love you guys with the love of the Lord, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Until my next video, I'm out. Well, not even out. We going to the next one.